Welcome everyone. We will be talking about quality cultures and learning in this presentation. This will be a very short video which will entice us to understand the best of the work cultures and how to imbibe them. So let us proceed with the agenda. First and foremost thing of what we will be talking about is the quality management and how to select them. Understand the difference between ISO 9000 and TQM as in total quality management and how to implement or execute them per se. Understand the industry impact of QMS, quality management system thereof. So yes, we will talk about quality. We will talk about the differences of ISO 9000 and TQM and the QMS purpose thereby. So there are three approaches to quality management. What are those three approaches that we are talking about it? The consultancy approach, the standard approach, and the quality award approach. Under consultancy approach, you can bring in the expert or the third party into your organization who are going to state the best practices or probably will state you how to benchmark yourself with the best in the industry. Consultant helps organizations to apply principles, methods, and technical tools proposed by quality experts. Standardizations of the principal approach, we are talking about ISO 9001, Total Quality Management, Six Sigma, Kaizen, Joran, etc. These are all management philosophies by the management thinkers and authors, the best of the managers that we are talking around it. These things, if you follow it out, you are coming to come out with a standard process, standard methodology about making a product or delivering a services. Quality award approach is what we have been talking about it. We have the Baldrige Award, we have the Deming Award, the European Quality Award, as the case might be. Let us understand the quality management. Now, if we look into it, there are other things that comes around here. First and foremost thing is the ISO 9000 thing, which is all set of requirement, the documentation process, the step that needs to be done around it. Lean management will have a different approach altogether. It is about lean production to reduce cost, to need to have a quicker operation and remove unwanted, unwarranted, non-value added activities to be siphoned off. Next is of total quality management. It is relatively easy, relatively simple to understand from an individual perspective and problem solving. So basically you are bifurcating a problem process into different subtasks and probably enacting upon it the best practices thereof. And the latest concepts is all about Six Sigma. This is what we are talking about. In cases of high volume of activities, in cases that we need higher level of stability, what are the most structured tools that comes around it is the Six Sigma. Factors to be considered while choosing the approach of quality management. Yes, we are talking about customers. Yes, we are talking about the stakeholders requirement. There are compliances from the federal government, from the provincial government as to what needs to be done. Let's say employee impact assessment or EIA is one of those conformity that needs to be taken care of. There are other things in terms of legalities, in terms of regulating, in terms of taxing and so on and so forth. Yes, societies, the cultural, the economic, the environmental factors does plays a role for your quality management. The technology and engineer are the forthcoming forces that is coming ahead to steer away with standard product and standard services. Organizational approaches and the sizes that comes around here is what we are looking around. So yes, we are talking about customers and stakeholder appliances needs, compliances. We are talking about social, cultural, economic, environmental factors, technology and engineering factors, organizational size, types, and location, as the case might be. Let us visit ISO 9001. We will be focusing on two important qualities of approaches. What are they and how we can go ahead with it? Total quality management and ISO 9000 were found to be most prevalent approaches of strategies as far as Lee and Palmer way back 23 years back when they produced these documents, these particular articles in the journal. Uh, an empirical examination of ISO 9000 registered companies and the total quality management volume 10, page 887 to 899, all about the two important quality approaches. What are they? ISO 1, ISO 9001, and total quality management per se. So let us understand one at a time. Let us begin with quality management system. The QMS is a formalized system that documents process, that procedures responsible for achieving quality policies and objective. ISO 9001 is the world's most popular, in fact, best utilized for standard quality management and services. Why is QMS important? Achieving customer satisfaction, low cost of poor performances, gain repeated business, increase profitability, increase effectiveness, and higher consistency is what we are looking around here. Yes, we should be talking about ISO 9000. This is a guidelines. ISO 9000 is the mother of all the guidelines that comes around, which were further abjected to 9001, which was all about design, development, production, installation, and servicing. 9002 was all about production and installation. The upgradation came out here. 9003 was all about inspection and testing. As it what the quality management system is all about it. Let us understand what is ISO 9001. It is a generic cover almost every organization, irrespective of the size, industry, or culture. It is a standard across the world. The organization can get a certifications of ISO 9001. Now, what do we need to understand? We need to identify about how things are required, allow for flexibility, allow the management to stay in the driving seat, provide the base level for quality system, not a complete guarantee of quality. Not a quality control tools, definitely yes, help facilitate international trade. Registration process takes anything from 1 year to 1.5 years time altogether. It can cost a lot of money. It can cost a lot of time. It can cost a lot of paperwork. Yes, ISO 9000 is all about documentation, all about going step by step. Prone to failure when an organization focus on certification and not on quality as the case might be. ISO standards, we're talking about 31,000 is all about risk management. IATG 16,949 is all about automotive quality and management. ISO 9000 TS is all about hazardous chemical to 29,001 and 2010 in the year about petroleum, petrol products, natural gases, everything about hazardous material. Similarly for packaging, similarly for environmental management. We have also come across for food safety and requirement, energy management, aviation, space, defense organization, medical devices, and IT enabled services. Now, these are the host of services, host of industry that ISO actually permits all together. That is what we are looking forward to it. So ISO 9001 principles remains being the customer focus, yes, to meet the customer requirement, their expectations, if possible, exceed them. We are looking at the leadership at all levels, probably with a sense of direction, sense of purpose, creating condition in which people are engaged and achieving an organization goals altogether. Then we have the engagement of people, engagement of competent people, empowering our employees, engaging people at every level throughout the organization are essential to enhance the capabilities to create and deliver value thereby. Then comes the process approach. The process approach is all about consistent predictability results achieved through efficiency and efficiently managing the activities which are understood, managed as on when on basis. Successful organizations have an ongoing focus on improvement, and this is what we are striving to be. Then comes the evidence-based decision making, decision based on analysis, evaluation of data, informations are more likely to produce much more pertinent result. And the last one would be the relationship management, an organization managing its relationships with the interested parties such as suppliers per se. These are the founding seven principles of ISO 9001. Let us understand the approaches thereby. How do we do our work? It is all about PDCA, plan, do, check, and act, and it goes on and on and on. So you name it, we will have it. So first and foremost thing is all about uh, planning of your work. Obviously, yes. Once you start planning, then you start implementing, as in enacting the work, which is doing it. Then probably once you have done it, how well have you done it, or you are evaluating the performance, and then probably if not done in a expected fashion, you need to improve them. If done in the expected fashion, probably you need to go for a bigger plan. And this is what we are looking. And this is a QMS system that keeps on happening around here within the organization. But on the outskirt of the organization, what is important? Look what is important. The customer requirement. Customer is always a high demanding entity. Needs and expectation of relevant interested parties, organization and its context, customer satisfaction, QMS, the result of QMS, the product and services thereof is what we are looking forward to. So establishing and implementing QMS is design, build, set up steering committees, evaluate current quality systems, set up documentation system as a process altogether. Now this is what we are looking forward to. So yes, design and build. Then we obviously go with the deployment, is breaking of each of the process down into sub processes, training all staff on documentation, implementing the QMS or the quality management system, control and measure, monitor and evaluations, internal audit, external audit, as in the certification thereby. See what we are doing one flow at a time. First, we are designing and building it. Probably then we are deploying it or launching into the market, and then probably taking a feedback, understanding what is working and what is not working, as in control and measure. This understanding will eventually help us in improving our product in terms of maintenance of the system, continual improvement and surveillance. And this goes on and on as far as establishing and implementing a quality management system is concerned. Now, the question is, what is total quality management? Total quality management is a management approach for an organization centered on quality based on participation of all its members, aiming at a long-term success through customer satisfaction, benefits to all members of an organization and to the society. Let us understand what we are looking forward to. Total mission, totality, improvement, enforcement for everyone in the organization. Quality means fully meeting the customer requirement, customer needs at the time. Management means the way we act, the way we operate, the way it is being circulated or the procedures has been inculcated. It is this total quality management what entails into the advantages part of it. It enhances competitive position. Yes, definitely yes. It improves customer satisfaction, obviously much. Reduces waste and work over. Greater organizational transparencies, improve employee participation and satisfaction, improve productivity, market share and profitability, enhances communication thereby as the case might be. We talk about the 8 elements. Look at what are the various elements that comes around it. We are embraced with only about nothing but communication. So let us understand the 8 elements. There are all about recognitions, training, teamwork, leadership, integrity, and trust. Now, these are the 5 things that needs to be taken care upon, as in recognition, training, teamwork, leadership, integrity, and trust. Now, remember what is the foundation? Foundation is integrity, trust, and ethics. About your mission, about your vision, to have a sense of openness, have a sense of transparency, have a sense of voice for each and every of the employees, then is what we are talking about. The little bricks of training, teamwork and leadership is all about it, is developing an effective employees, to create commitment by top management. Now this can only be done if we have effective communication per se. So binding motors is what we are looking into it, linking all the elements of TQM through common communications, and that is what we all aspire to be. Roof provide both suggestion and achievement for the team and individual per se as far the communication is concerned, and this is what exactly is enacted. The 6 C's for implementing total quality management. What are the 6 C's? Are commitment, culture, continuous improvement, cooperation, customer focus, and control. The 6 C's which are essential for total quality management. We should focus on the customer requirement, their satisfaction. We should enhance the control, a tight control over whatever is being imparted to the end customers, whatever is being done as an internal process. What are we doing around it? We should ensure commitment from the employees and probably invoke commitment even in our external customers as such. Now, this to be followed, which we have a vibrant cultures per se with an organization with the modern qualities, constant biasness, continuous improvement must take place in all policies, procedures, activities laid down by management on an organization. Cooperation experiences of employees must be utilized to improve strategies and enhance the performances thereby. So yes, when we compare it, when we are comparing ISO 9000 and total quality management, where are we standing around it? In terms of customer focus, both place equal emphasis. But in case of quality, ISO 9000 doesn't place so much of an importance. It places importance in the steps towards it, the process to adhere to it. Whereas total quality management is obsessed with quality. Scientific approach to problem solving, both of them, both are weighing in equally. Long-term commitment for ISO 9000 might change over a period of time. So yes, to a semi-long term from medium long term, they are there. But total quality management, did I say PDCA, plan, do, check and act, and this circle continues over a longer period. Teamwork in ISO 9000 not been mandated, but in total quality management, this is very much mandated. Similarly, for the case of continual process and product improvement and education and training intensive, wherein ISO 9000 and total quality management are having an equal impetus altogether. But that cannot be said for controls as far as freedom of control is concerned. ISO 9000 doesn't plays that role about control, doesn't emphasizes. It only emphasizes only in the process part of it. Total quality management is obsessed with control. We talk into the unity of purpose. ISO 9000 TQ total quality management more or less have similar objectives. As far as employee involvement, empowerment is concerned, ISO 9000 will have a partial employment, involvement and empowerment, which might not be the case. In total quality management, everybody is equally involved, equally empowered to achieve the end all objectives of the organization. So ISO 9000, which one should be first? Is it ISO 9000 or is it total quality management? ISO 9000 first should be recommended to implement the traditional environment. In traditional environment, ISO 9000 works wonderfully well. Remember, implement total quality management later to enhance the employee motivation. This can be later on start, but when do we employ total quality management first? When the companies might choose is some companies choose total quality management. Let's say, for example, Toyota. ISO 9000 is just a subset of total quality management. ISO 9000 may become redundant. Total quality management becomes relevant at any point of time, whether the market is maturing or is still at a nascent stage. For this case, the objective of implementing ISO is to obtain certification, nothing beyond it. Remember, the matter of fact is ISO 9000 are not interchangeable, but they are compatible and often complement each other. So transforming to a smart manufacturing from a traditional manufacturing concept, how do we transform into a smart manufacturing? We are looking at product impact, potential uh, uh, operation applications or information technology applications. What do we go around it? We are moving from physical world to the digital world, or the in between is the physical world that comes around it. We are talking about sensors, controls, wearables, augmented reality. In the digital world, we are talking about signal aggregations, optimization, prediction, visualization, or point of users delivery performances. Now this is what is coming with the physical world, wherein there was a manufacturing unit establishing a digital record, and now it is everything being transparent, being organized, sequenced, indexed all together. Digital to physical would be adding to the manufacturing, advanced material, autonomous robotics, digital design. And look at it, this is what smart manufacturing is all about. It is complementing each other's as far as the digital world is concerned. Transforming to the smart manufacturing shifts to the digital industries. Business models should be grounded in five guiding principles. And how do they go around it? If you look out here, this is the flow that comes around, and then probably it goes around here. Is a digital adoption first and foremost thing. What is your aspiration? Is your strategy that we want to deal around it? Second, what do you choose to play? How do you want to strategize? Is it the physical mode, the traditional mode? Is it the digital mode? Is it in between the physical and digital? What I say as a phygital world. Probably then we comes upon the capabilities as in what has to be needed and how it can be built upon it. This is the capabilities that comes around it, wherein we go to the fourth quarters as in how should the capabilities be configured, where should they be executed, what is the ownership and decision rights there were, people, processes, and technologies, what business process, technology, and management system are required to win, and so forth. So quality management in industries, how do we go across with it? You look at the industrial revolutions and how do we go? So if you have the version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, it is right from product to design to services and to brand. Obviously, that is what we are looking at the future quality. Essentially, it was all about product. Then it becomes all about software and design. Then it becomes service oriented. And probably now we are talking about branding as a culture. Yes, there are human benefits, production benefits, as in what all aids that comes around it, from hand aid to power aid to brain aid and to an instinctive aid that comes around it. Production has been machine production, mass production, and then come around lean production, as in perfect match between the input and output, and having cutting all the frills, all the unwanted elements, activities, non-value added activities per se. So what are we looking at it? We are looking at upon a quality system which are responsible, which are open, as in the quality goals and strategies started at the basic very end of control and inspection, moved on to assurance and auditing standards and management QM as per the result that has been shown out here. This is what we will be talking around, right? So quality management in industry typically exists production system one way flow to the quality management. We are talking about planning, we are talking about designing, we are talking about production, we are talking about marketing, sales, feedback. Again, this circle goes on and on. So we start from planning as for our industry, as for our product. We start designing one, go into production, start marketing once we have the finished product, test it through the sales, and what is the report, what is the market feedback, so that we can plan ahead for a better product, for a better versions altogether. So multi-way flow of quality management system in the fourth industrial house is plan, design, production, marketing, and sales, as the case might be. We are talking about big data, AI, and IoT, or Internet of Things, that comes around it. So we have a composite dimensions. We have a team creativity as far as design is concerned. We have total inspection as far as production is concerned. We have the new variations, new products that comes around it in the product line, and sales is all about the new valuation that can be added upon. This is what we are looking forward. So how is the industry aligning itself? Industry is aligning from being customer focused, being responsive, being customizing everything. Industry is aligning total quality management with smart allocation of resources, higher coordination among different levels, effective valuation of result. We are talking about empowering the people, not only the employees, but also the end customers in terms of proper communication, facilitating innovations. Process approach is all about transparent, interconnected, dynamic processes, self-reliant, early prediction of errors, less downtime, early maintenance protection, improvement, as the case might be, active dynamic interactions with the market needs, instant reconfiguration. Rich information and analytical dashboard is what we are looking as far as evidence based or data driven decision making. And last but not the least is the relationship management or the customer relationship management, building upon it for a repeat business altogether. All basically it means identifying customers, communication tool, ability to hire or segment your product according to the requirement of the customers, the shareholders, the stakeholders, and so on and so forth. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.